I've asked. Oh, I got to start again. Well, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everyone. Janet Kiefer, your host here, Presidential Director with LifeWave and part of the Live Younger team. And Gregory and Robin are in Arizona getting ready for events, which is something we're going to talk about. And again, I'm going to ask if everybody would mute themselves, or if Liz, you can mute everyone, except for Barbara Larrabee, who's going to be working and helping with me today. So if you don't know Barbara Larrabee, she's a director from the Dallas area in North Texas. And she and I both started from tiny events, home parties, group events in the community, regional events, and also the convention. So we've kind of got experience across them all. So we have 7 topics. So I figure if we give 2 minutes to each of them, we're going to banter back and forth. Write down the ones you want to comment about, because I want to open it up about halfway through the call and everybody go ahead and chime in. But if we kind of go through and let everybody talk at once, we'll probably won't make all 7. So welcome, Barbara, welcome everybody, and go ahead and mute your screen.
I'm going to first mute everyone, and then I'm going to make Barbara a co-host.
Great. She knows how to do that.
Okay.
Yes. All right. Well, there. 7 reasons to attend LifeWave events. Well, there's a whole bunch of value to doing this. So we're going to jump in this morning and go through all 7. First of all is you get to see and understand the company vision. For new people coming on board, I know when I started, Barbara started, we had no idea what the company was about in the vision, right? Number 2 is building trust, because you're going to experience and get to know the executive and field leaders, get to know who's running the company. All right, 3rd, it's helping you build your team.
Hello, darling.
Pardon me, could I ask everybody to mute, please? You guys got that coming in? People muting. Thank you. Number 3, build team relationships and culture. Huge part of why you have events. 4, recognize individual and team successes. Another major part of what value you can bring to an event. Number 5, get energized. There's so much amazing energy at the events. You're all going to benefit by it. Be in the know. Get the latest updates and new products. And number 7, build long-term belief. So as we jump in here, again, those entering, please mute. Number 1, see and understand the company vision. Last year at convention in 22 was the first time I was able to get to a convention, and I was very excited. Our team was very well represented. We had quite a few of our team attend, but we were newbies, a lot of managers, and seeing and understanding the company vision was huge. Wouldn't you agree, Barbara?
Absolutely. The vision, I think the vision is one of the things that really uplifts you. And in practical terms, by seeing the vision for me, I really felt comfortable that, oh my gosh, I have a home here for years. This is something where I can see where the company is going. I can see what a humanitarian mission they have. And it was just something that really warmed my heart for one thing, but then the practical part of me, it was like, oh, I can really get behind this company, the product, and I feel very, very confident in sharing it with the people I know. So the vision is critical.
Thank you. You're so right, Barbara. Number 2, build trust by experiencing the executive and field leaders. So, you know, when you're at these bigger events, it's the first time you're like, oh, I've heard about that person, or I've seen them online. I've seen them present, but now I really get to talk to them. I get to understand their journey. I get to understand their struggles. I see what's gone on for them to get to the top. And so you really are feeling that credibility. And I know when we talked about this yesterday on the directors meeting, one gentleman said he actually went to last year's Scottsdale event, not having anybody invite him. He wasn't part of the company. He was there to check out the company. And it was at this regional event that he really understood the vision and he understood the culture, and he chose which leader he wanted to join under. Barbara, what would you add?
Okay, I think as far as seeing these big guys, these big leaders, it can sometimes be intimidating. And what's wonderful about being able to hear from them is to hear their personal stories and see that you too can get there. It isn't that they've had their struggles. To learn about them, you find out where they've been, and that there's hope for all of us individuals as far as just stair-stepping up the plan and being able to share with people enough to actually achieve these levels also. So the panels, when they showcase all of these leaders, there's just so much to learn from them. But I think that's one of the pieces, is that they can inspire us in that way, that we're able to do it too.
I agree very much. And I remember last year's convention, I hadn't really tuned into the global aspect of LifeWave and how big Asia was in the Asia market. And it really broadened me and to meet those leaders. Number 3, build team relationships and cultures. Honestly, the most important job you have as a leader is to build your team relationships and cultures. And how you do it is through all these different events. Now, we're going to chat quickly about small events too, but realize that your job as a leader is to tune in, because people want to be recognized. People want to feel part of a team. They want to have a culture, which Live Younger does. We're going to talk more about this in a minute, but Barbara, a quick comment, because I'd like us to bring it back to small events too.
Yeah, so my quick comment here is that there's nothing like having the team culture. I really believe that I love my family, I love my kids, but my team is as close, if not closer, than some of my relatives. And the team culture is just brilliant.
It really is. Okay, number 4, recognize individual and team successes. We do an interview style with our team, getting to know them, and we ask them how important certain things are that motivate them, money or just having a business or helping people or wanting to share. And whenever I ask about recognition, most people are like, oh, I don't need recognition. Well, honestly, folks, it's probably the highest thing on here. We all should be celebrating successes, no matter how small. Hey, you just got your first customer. But when you're at these big meetings, we're also celebrating you as a leader. Congratulations on making manager or director of this. People thrive on this kind of team recognition. Barbara.
Yeah, I can't say it better. We do thrive when we get the pat on the back, and especially when it's coming from people that we really care about. So the team recognition is really critical.
Very critical. Hey, number 5, get energized. Well, we know, as David says, we're all beings of light. So you put, 3, 5, 12, 1,500 of us together, we're all sharing that light, that energy, and you really do get energized. I don't think I've ever left any event that I wasn't all fired up. Okay, I'm ready to go again. So some of those days when you feel like, oh, I don't know if I want to do it, realize you're going to get the group energizing effort and energy and light and happiness and people going, oh, I'm so glad to see you. Barbara.
True. I mean, you're just flying when you leave, and you're invigorated again. You're setting new goals. You've got those new relationships that got tighter and bonded at the event, and everybody's ready to pull together. It's just it's incredible. There's nothing like it.
Correct. And it's so great we can all get back together again now. Number 6, be in the know. Get the latest updates and new products. Part of the reason I always are at an event, because if you know me, I'm always wanting to know the latest stuff and understand things. And we have so many team leaders that are very brilliant. Dr. Stacy's one of them. I went to the Sarasota event in January, and listening to her, boy, did I learn things. But also, any chance you can hear David Schmidt, he talked for 2 hours extemporaneously. We were taking notes like as fast as we could. There's so much to learn. Barbara.
Same thing. I mean, I'm an information junkie. Not everybody is, but it's inspiring in its own way to have all the details and to recognize how many professionals we have in this company who have the education and are able to bring it to us.
Very, very true. And number 7, truly you're helping build long-term belief in yourself, in the product, in the company, in yourself as a business person. The belief is what carries us through, because network marketing businesses are a marathon, you guys. They're not a quick run. They're not, oh, I'll do it next year. They're long-term every day, and it's your belief in your mission and your vision that carry you through. Barbara.
Same thing as I said in the very beginning, the seeing the vision is building that belief, and it inspires you to stay with it, to be part of it. I think we all want to be part of helping others, being humanitarian. And so LifeWave offers us that, and you come away from an event with that belief just pounded into your heart. It's just fabulous.
So thank you, Barbara. Before we open it up for everybody, Barbara and I just kind of quickly want to talk also small events. Yesterday, my team here did an event at a Sun City. We had about 25, 30 attendees. I had a 7 team with me. That event, and for some of these is my team, it was their first event ever. And all 7 things were in play there. They got the vision, they got to have product updates, they got to see what a group's like. It built their vision and built their belief, but I recognized them and they got to give their testimonial. So we were going to talk about the regional and the conference coming up, but know that your smaller events, whether they're home parties or even Zoom meetings, have these same effects. Barbara, tell about some you've been doing recently.
Well, I actually went to an event. We found out about it too late to participate, but we've got it on our radar for next year because we learned that it's totally appropriate for us. So we did that just a couple of days ago. But the vendor events that I've done have been very successful, and then also we're working on some events where we can talk to groups, whether it's an over 55 community or other groups like Rotaries, whatever. And so if that's you, then there's a lot of potential in that also.
Very, very true. So before we open it up, here's a list.
Janet, you muted.
I accidentally my finger hit the button. Sorry.
It's like being on the phone when you hit mute. Thanks, Liz. So here's our upcoming events. Of course, we've got the Scottsdale event on March 25th. Who do you know in the North Phoenix area? Who do you know there? Put it out there. Put it on Facebook. Because honestly, you don't know if they aren't like that gentleman that went to last year's Scottsdale event and was checking it out and saying, do I want to get involved with this company? Got to see the leaders, got to build the belief, all these things. We've got the May 20th event in Tampa. The Tampa team's big, and often you get David there because he's in Florida, which is worth anything to see him. We've got the June 24th event in Houston, which I invite everybody to, if you can, if it's a quick flight, we'll be there. We'll be helping you bring your people in. We've got one in California and Costa Mesa in July. And then, of course, we've got the international conference in October 12th and 14th coming up. But before I open it up also, remember that we've just started the Power of the Patch webinar. That can be an event for you. You can get your team together. You can watch it together. Help educate them in how to share this, get them recognized any way you can. So we've got a lot of venues. So I'm going to move us back up to our list. And Liz, if you would please open up the discussion. I know I asked if Susan Carabello's on, I asked her quickly to make a comment at an event she just had.
Okay, if you want to make a comment, please raise your hand and you'll come to the top of the list and I'll be able to unmute you.
Janet, do you want me to jump in right
Yes,
now?
go ahead, real
Okay,
quick.
great. Yeah, I want to acknowledge that Ted Jacobus and Kat Blake in Sun City, Florida, have had 3 events in the last 3 weeks. And I just have to shout out for them their level of organization preparing for this. They joined the local Chamber of Commerce, the local Rotary Club. They attended meetings. They got their tablecloth made to activate stem cells. They had their shirts. They had their posters. I mean, they put such effort and concentration going into this. I mean, all 3 events were phenomenally successful. After each one, we had quality improvement discussions. Okay, what can we do better next time? It was the 3 of us at each event. And it really was kind of perfect for the table size. But just the leads that got generated, the people that we met, the passion that we discovered in our own hearts as we told our stories, and just reached out to people. We even ended up at somebody's house, an 89-year-old beautiful man. His son was doubting Thomas. We ended up patching him and his son at the end of one event. So I would just say to everyone, they are so much fun. They build your passion, exactly what Barbara and Janet are saying. You know, they just strengthen your vision. And I mean, it's just a real win-win. And again, my hats off to Kat and Ted for their just extremely hard work.
Great, thank you, Susan. Go ahead, Liz, if you can see hands.
We've got Kent and then Darlene and then Cheryl.
Go ahead and unmute yourself.
So I've already unmuted, Kent's already unmuted, so go ahead, Kent.
Good morning, everyone. Great information. I'm new to this particular group, and what I love that I just saw was the list of events coming up, etc. Where exactly can I find all of those listed?
These you
There
should
you
be
go.
getting. You should be getting the Live Younger weekly email. And if you haven't signed up for it, Liz can tell us. And you get this upcoming events always every Monday, Kent. And so we do have flyers. This Scottsdale event is at the Franciscan Renewal Center in Scottsdale. We'd love you to come. And if you have people in the area that you can't be there, let us know. We'll be happy to greet them and welcome them in.
That's
Also,
great, I
you can
do.
find it, Kent, at the liveyoungersuccess.com under what's new. And you can then see all the upcoming events that are there, as well as if you're not getting the newsletter, if you go to the Getting Started tab there, and I believe it's under, I can't remember if it's under 1, 2, 3, go or 4, 5, 6, 7. There's a drop down menu there. One of the 2 of those has a link to get to the newsletter. So, thank you, Carol Lee. Carol Lee says liveyoungernewsletter.com. Thank you.
Got it. Thank you for that. And last comment or question, really. You mentioned, Janet, that in preparing for an event, all of the different, you mentioned some specific things like the tablecloth, shirts, things like that. Has anybody put together a list of here's what we do and here's, how to on an event?
Yes,
Yes.
again, in the Live Younger Success, under the library section and then resources, there's a list of how to do home meetings. There's also a link to our Live Younger Vistaprint, where you can order items there. And so, as Robin says, be a happy clicker. I would go to the liveyoungersuccess.com, and under the Getting Started, there's a tab there that Judy Daniels has put a video walking you through the whole website and where to find things. So seeing you're fairly new, that's what I would recommend doing, and you'll be able to learn where all the different items are that we have for our team.
Thank you very much for that. I was a speaker for 50 years in a big business and spoken to as many as 10,000 people at a time. So I'd love to fill up a couple of big rooms. Thank you.
Well,
very
welcome, Kent.
much. Good to be here.
Great. And who's got our next hand up?
Darlene?
I just want to say it is super important to attend all kinds of events, and it's also great to do your own. I don't want to jinx myself, but probably for the last year, all of the home parties that we have done, I have had 100% sign up. They're easy to do. You don't have to do anything elaborate. In fact, I've found the more simple your home meeting is, the easier it is on you, and your team realizes they can do these too. And just get a few people there and do a short presentation. I use the event, the little short 7-minute video that Gregory put together, and then we tell testimonials, and people are excited and they're ready to sign up.
Well, wait a minute. Why should I follow you? Only 100%?
And going to the big conferences, conventions have been amazing.
So also, those videos that Darlene is referencing are in the library section under the home events and meeting guidelines. So there's a whole guideline there. We're working on a few other things to be adding into there. There's a longer 18-minute video that's in there that can be used as well. So great point, Darlene, and keep up the great work.
Very true.
Thanks.
So
And our
next we have Cheryl. And Cheryl, you need to unmute.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Wonderful. My husband Perry is sitting here with me. We just joined on the 3rd of March. And if it wasn't for X39, I'd probably be up 24 hours a day. I'm so excited about this. I'm getting so much energy, and my sleep is improving, and I'm really getting a lot more out of my day at approaching 75. I had a question. I love animals, particularly dogs. Does anyone have an approach that they use with people at the dog parks or walking? Anybody have any input into that? And I have a couple of shelters here that are nonprofits, and I would like to go and speak to them about it. Any ideas?
Cheryl, just because we're a little tight on time and we're trying to keep this focused on some of the bigger events, could we open up chat if anybody's got some feedback for her? And maybe that's something, Cheryl, we can do a Thursday call about, because these really help pets, and we've got some great people who can help you there, if that's okay.
Well, yeah, that's perfect. Anything that's easy for you. Thank you.
Thank you so much, and welcome to the team.
Thank you.
Okay, we've got the peaks that are up next.
Oh, hi, thank you. So this is Helen. I do want to say that going to an event is actually, I would say, the main thing that helped me become successful in this industry, because, as y'all spoke about, you're so inspired, especially with David, but also with the top leaders. I had attempted a couple network marketing companies before and discovered that the problem was nobody that brought me in knew what they were doing. And I finally figured out, we'll go to the person who invited them and above, and you kind of track upwards to who is successful. So there you are now with these amazing people, and all of us on our team even come together, and the business cousins like y'all over there, Janet and everybody, we all work together, and that's unusual. So I would just want to say the highest quality people in our industry are there. People who show up, they're the winners. So I recommend you show up, and it's always best to get at least one person from each of your teams at the events as well, because now you got both teams inspired and growing.
True, Helen, really good points.
Okay, next we have Sunshower Rose up.
Good morning, everybody. Events is once you go from one event, it's like have another event ready because people are going to want to do that. Regarding the convention, and just putting it all together with our products, you know, I've been using X39 consistently every day, and luckily the smell that I never was able to do, I never had the ability to smell, came about in July 22, and our convention was in August, where guess what? The aromatherapy mists came out, so I can actually smell them.
So product updates meant a lot, didn't it, Sunshine?
Yes, indeed.
Thank you.
Okay, next we have Carol Lee.
Good morning. I want to start by saying thank you to Janet and Barbara. That was wonderful training. I just wanted to point out one little thing, and you may have said this already, but doing events and attending events and bringing guests to events is one of the best ways to leverage your time. And when we're busy, a lot of us are busy maybe with a full-time job or whatever it is, you want to do things that are going to leverage your time, because what's better than having a large group of people instead of one-on-ones? And there's a place for one-on-ones, but having a large group of people and spending 2 hours instead of 6 one-on-ones for an hour each is a great way to make use of your time. So thank you.
Well said, Carol Lee.
And I'd just like to make a comment, Janet, that he who invites the most wins. Leaders did not get to be leaders without doing inviting. And you have on a weekly basis 48 options to be able to invite people to, because we've got 6 Power of the Patch webinars every day times 7 days a week. Actually, it's 42 options because 6 times 7 is 42. And in addition to the upcoming events, which are larger events and or if you're going to be, as Janet had said, doing home parties, whatever it is, invite.
And don't be discouraged if they don't show up. You know, someone who got me into network marketing invited me 3 times, and she was a stranger. God love her. It changed my life. So keep inviting. Who's
Helen,
next?
you've got your hand up again.
Yeah, I just wanted to say I have enrolled for convention. I know a lot of us on here have, but I would like to remind people this is also like a personal growth course that you have to keep, you know, becoming better and better, which is the theme of our company actually, and our team, get better and better. So I recommend you go in and you go register for convention, because that's when the workshop begins. You're committed and you're going, and now you're going to go find those people who are going to go with you. So I just wanted to remind you, jump in.
Jump in. Yeah. Helen, do we have any others?
We don't have any others at this point, so I think that this would be a good time to do a conclusion, Janet.
Great. Well, thank you, everybody that's been here and contributed. Take a look at these 7 points. Some of them we're strong on, and some of them we could probably do a little more. And everybody's busy, right? But just remember that as you bring people on, especially brand partners, I try to tell people they're like having new puppies. You can't ignore them. You've got to feed them. You got to take them out and play with them. You got to help them learn. And the big events, they get to see much more than you could, as they said, the one-on-ones are great, but the big events is going to teach a new brand partner way more. So we hope to see you in Scottsdale, if not in Houston or Tampa or at the convention. If you can, do try to be there. Seeing David live rocks your world. I'll go try anything I can to see David. He is so amazing, and you're going to learn so much and realize, people, we have a product and a company that absolutely has no competitors. There's nothing in the world that can do this. So be confident, build your belief, come on these calls every Thursday, contribute. We appreciate you all. So thank you for being here.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you, Janet. and
Thanks,
Barbara,
Janet.
and
Great job. Thanks,
everyone.
Barbara.
Thank you
Thanks,
so much.
Janet.
You guys are great.
Excellent.
Appreciate it.
Very inspiring.
Lovely
Thank
day,
you,
everybody, and
everybody.
thank you.
What great
Great
feedback.
Bye-bye.
Thanks, Ellen. Good job.
Thank you both.
Thank you very much.